Hi, everybody. My name is Kavanaugh, or Cav, and I'm going to be your professor for this class. This is OT 300, Human Movement. I want to welcome you to the class. It's a great class, and you're going to be learning a lot about basic stuff and occupational therapy. Just some basic stuff about me and who's going to be helping out with the class in this video, and then I'm going to get into the syllabus. And then if you have questions about the syllabus, definitely email me or ask when we meet for the first person on August 31st on that Monday. Okay, so again, I'm Kavanaugh, or Cav for short, C-A-V. You can call me Cav, we're pretty informal, or Professor Kelly, so Cav or Professor Kelly is fine. Also helping out with this class are two other people. Emily, you may have met, I don't know if you met her yet, she's going to be helping out with the labs. She is the fieldwork coordinator. And Katie, who is going to be one of your professors, she will be helping out some with the lab. She could be kind of in and out, working with Emily a little bit. So pretty much it's going to be me and Emily teaching this class. If you have questions about the stuff we're learning right in the lab and all that sort of stuff, definitely ask them. We're all going to be around helping you guys learn this stuff. But if you have questions in specific about assignments, or what's going to be on a quiz, what's going to be on an exam, how to do the wheelchair assignment, definitely want to go right to me. I'm the one who's going to be grading all that stuff. I'm the primary professor, really the professor for this class. So your questions, you really want to go to the source, come to me for your questions. That's what I would recommend. Just some of my background a little bit. I've been an occupational therapist too long, probably for over 20 years now. Most of my background is in home health, teaching home health in this area. Also done a lot in outpatient orthopedics, rehab sort of stuff. The classes I teach in the program are this class, kind of the entry-level rehab kind of class, and then some more advanced classes. In your fourth year, I teach a rehab class, context, and then your last semester here, I teach upper level classes in upper extremity, orthopedic kind of injuries, and ergonomics sort of stuff. So you'll see me repeatedly all the way throughout the program. Get to know you guys really, really well. I love teaching this class. To me, this class is a lot of fun, a lot of hands-on, great skill learning in this class. If you want to be an OT, this is the class to get in, to take. It really teaches a lot of the basic core hands-on skills you need to be an occupational therapist, skills you're going to be using for the rest of your careers, really. Just a little bit about the COVID. We'll really get into that in the lab in terms of what you need to do, not do, and the whole protocol stuff. The big thing to remember now is just to wear your mask to class on Monday, and we'll get into a lot of that stuff. Big thing too, I'll talk about this Monday, but is to keep an open dialogue and how things are going. I know it's a very different kind of stressful time. Keep communicating with me and with us, kind of different ways of doing that, so we can kind of see what your needs are, how you're holding up with this. I know it's different and challenging, difficult time to kind of enter the program. But the good news is you've chosen a great profession. Occupational therapy is just a lot of fun to do. I've loved being an OT. Most people I talk to who are OTs love doing the job. And I think once we get through this whole COVID thing, things are going to kind of normalize back to the way they were pretty quickly. It'd be jobs for you guys. You might have to kind of look a little bit differently, look outside the area a little bit, but there are still jobs out there. And it's still, I believe, a great profession to get into over the long run. It really, really is. Okay, so I want to get right into what you're looking at here, the syllabus. See if I can get this focused, whoops, just on the syllabus. Let me do that, I guess not. Okay, so here's the syllabus. This is right down. Definitely want to check out the syllabus before class. We'll go over it again in class on Monday, but there's a lot to it, and you really need to know it quickly because the assignments start pretty fast. Okay, so on Mondays, that first lab, this is where we start the hands-on in-person stuff. There's two parts to this class. There's a lecture, which is online, posted each week, and there's a lab, which is in person on Mondays. There's no lecture content for this first week. It's just the lab and getting to know each other and introductory stuff. Next week, you have a lecture. May have already been posted time you watch this, and there's going to be another in-person lab each Monday. So let's go through this week to week, the topic, what we're going to be covering this particular week, this particular first week. Then the assignments starting week 2. Week 2, before you come into lab, you need to watch the lecture online, look at those PowerPoints, do the reading. There's a reading in your trail guide book to the body book. So do the reading, watch the narrated lecture, and study the lecture questions, because you're going to have a quiz on the lecture questions when you come into class Monday on the 7th, a week from the 31st, your second lab, in-person lab. The first thing you'll do is a quiz. And there's going to be 1 or 2 questions on the lecture questions off that PowerPoint. So you need to watch the PowerPoint, understand those lecture questions, and answer them and study them and know them. If you have questions on the lecture questions, in the narration, towards the end of the narration, I answer all those lecture questions. If it wasn't clear, you can't understand it, let me know really soon. Email, I have virtual office hours on Sundays. Let's say you're doing homework over the weekend, you're getting ready for that quiz on Monday. Sunday morning between 10 and 11, virtual office hours via Zoom. So you can just pop in with this link anytime within that hour, ask a question, or just listen to other students asking their questions. Communicate, ask questions, and get ready. And I really want you to be prepared for those labs. That's why I'm making sure that you are prepared through these weekly quizzes. These weekly quizzes are really good in preparing you to do well in the class. They're definitely a pain in the butt to keep up with, but a lot of the material on the quizzes is going to be on the midterm. So by studying for the quizzes, you're really studying for the midterm. And they look at the research about evidence-based teaching, and it really closes the gap between high achievers and low achievers in classes, because you don't have to remember all that stuff at the midterm. You're practicing, you're studying it each week, and you really can retain it a lot quicker and easier. Also, before your lab on Monday, watch these videos. I can't stress the videos enough. They're all posted on Canvas already. This is what your first practicum is going to be about, your first hands-on exam. It's going to be on these videos pretty much exactly. Study the videos, practice the videos over and over again to get them down cold, and then you do really well in those practicums. So then we're just going to go over that same pattern each week. The online content that you need to study and be prepared for that quiz, and then the quiz and the hands-on stuff in the lab. This is the reading. You're also going to get homework, which ties into the lecture material. Definitely do the reading and the homework before you do the PowerPoint, so you've got to know what's going on. And then the quiz. Then we start these student-led demonstrations. We'll talk about what those are in the lab. It's about the motions. Everybody's got to have a turn in front of the class, going through these different motions of the body. It kind of goes that same pattern week to week. Online lecture, and then quiz and hands-on labs on Monday. First practicum. It's going to be the latter part of the lab on 9/28. Doesn't take long to do the first practicum, just 10 minutes individually. So like the first hour of the lab, you'll be practicing for the practicum, and the second hour you actually do the practicum. That's on 9/28, your first practicum. When you go, what your start time is will be posted eventually. And then we're going week to week. And this is our first midterm on weeks 1 through 7, the lecture material in the labs. Key date here, 10/16. It's outside of regular class time. It's on a Friday. Not sure what time on Friday, but it's going to be on a Friday. You're going to be split up in 2 groups to keep the groups small. So remember that, 10/16. Stick it in your date books. Midterm exam. Second practicum is going to be on the following Friday. Again on a Friday, a different date. The last practicum will be during the lab session on week 12. And then the wheelchair assignment, we'll talk about that more later on. That's going to be due toward the end of the semester, and then the final exam. In terms of communicating, sorry to spin through here, I don't want to make you dizzy. The virtual office hours, I talked about those are on Sundays. That's starting 9/6. There's the link. But if you can't do Sundays, you're working or whatever, email me. We can set up another time. Definitely want to rely on the emailing and the Zooming. So your first line of questioning is just to email or ask in lab during the lab sessions. Definitely feel free to ask any kind of question during the lab. And then if that doesn't work, we'll go to a Zoom meeting. If that doesn't work, we'll try it in person. We can do that, but we need to set it all up. Asking questions is key, and it's a different world here with COVID. So you got to really think about asking questions, getting your questions answered. Be persistent. People that do well in this class, people do well in this program, ask lots of questions. Need you to ask lots of questions. Love lots of questions. I know you're trying to get engaged when you ask me questions. There's other books that are required. They are required. These are books you're going to be using throughout the whole program. To me, they're a good investment to buy the books. And then just one last thing. This is the rundown how much everything is worth. This is posted on Canvas, how much the percentage of each thing. You can see pretty quickly that a big chunk of this class is those 3 practicums. Make sure you get assignments posted in on time. It's 5 points for every day late. So if it's a week late, I mean, you're talking 35 points, it's a lot of points. And please, please, please make sure it's posted correctly onto Canvas. Double check. Post it and then go into Canvas. Okay, it went through, I'm good. Can't tell you how many times students think it was posted, they don't go back and double check, and it wasn't posted. And I go to grade it a week or 2 weeks later, and it's not there. So it's, you're talking a lot of points. So please make sure it's posted correctly. I believe that is everything. Post your questions to the forum that's on Canvas. Email me with questions. And we'll go through this again on Monday. You might want to save your questions for Monday and we can go through it then. And that is pretty much that.